Today's video is going to be a little different. Today I'm going to be talking about the reality of being a day trader and why I do it. I think some people shouldn't do it, but why I do it mainly. I'm doing this because I have a vision that I don't think anybody else but me can see. I see this as an opportunity to create the own reality around me, to create my reality, to create a force of income that doesn't subside under a paycheck or contract, where my own capital creates capital and live off that. But of course, in order to do that, there's a reason that not only 90% of day traders fail, but I think the number's closer to 99%, because I think I think the closest number is 99% of day traders that try this like me fail. And why I knew a whole bunch of people who started this journey with me back when I was in high school, and I'm the only one left standing. And I do it because I see a vision and I see how I'm right here, the life I want is here, and day trading is the force that's gonna take me to where I envision, where I manifest that I will be. However, nobody told me how hard this was gonna be. It isn't physically hard, but mentally, psychologically, and emotionally, this is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, and I could say that for a fact. When your outcomes are based on things that you cannot control, the money that you risk, money that you make, the money that you lose, how much money you have in a trade, all these factors. You could lose a trade that everything was going so good, and right before you get out, it crashes, or because you forgot to double check that a certain quality that the stock was missing, it folded and you lost. How it depends on your risk to reward ratio, not your win to lose ratio, the types of stocks you trade. There's just a spider web of factors involved. I remember even in high school, spending hours on the screen because I fucked up and I had to get out of a position, but I couldn't get out because I couldn't get out of that loss. And I'd just be stressing, and there's just so much stress involved in this career. But I think I found the right way to do it, at least for me. I believe I did. You see, I have a cash account. What that means is that I don't have margin. I only have the money to trade that is in my cash account that I deposit. On top of that I don't have any extra money, I can only use that money once every 2 days, because when it's a cash account and you buy a security or a stock or whatever, you sell it, you have to wait 2 days for the cash to settle, come back into your account, and then you can reuse it. This applies to both whether you win or you lose or break even. It doesn't matter. So that's the main issue I faced. It's not having 25 grand to start. But I think it's also a blessing in disguise, because I only have a certain amount of money. I can only trade a certain amount of times, and I only have a certain amount of times that I could use certain amount of money. So it gets very difficult. The good thing, however, is that I think it's a blessing in disguise, because it's teaching me how to do it the right way. You see, what I've been practicing this semester is waiting for the right stock to come to me, and then I trade it. Now, so far, almost 95% of the time, I would say, when the right stock comes to me with the right qualifications, the right numbers that I'm looking at, and I attack it and I execute it, I already know how to execute it. I already know how to sell it. I know when to sell it. I know when to stop out. I know how to get out, how to scale in, how to scale out, what I should do. It's all mental. I'm very well at that. I realize that the only thing that is stopping me is the quality of the stock. Because when I find a stock that has the qualities that I'm looking for. The low float stock qualities, low supply, high demand, has news catalyst, good volume compared to other days beforehand, affordable. When it has these qualities, I'm able I my rate of return is exceptional. I can make 30% returns on the money that I trade. Matter of fact, if we make the calculations, I had around on this trade right here, and I have the numbers right here. I would put it on my screen, but it shows some other expenses that I had over the weekend. I don't want to show that. I had 100 shares at 3.49. 349. I only did 345 plus 15. 709. This reaped me a 189 return. So what's this times point? $83%. No, that can't be right. That can't be right. I don't know. Point is, out of $700 that I invested, I made $100 back, give or take. How do I even do that? I made around 25%. Around 25% of my return was made on this stock. 25% return on the money that I traded, not the money of my entire account. And this is a key thing that I've noticed about this strategy that I trade. When I trade this strategy, I gain upwards of 10% return on the money that I risk. Now this is where this is going to change. You see, I see trading as a Rubik's Cube. Visually, I visualize it in my head as a Rubik's Cube. And the Rubik's Cube, every time I solve a piece, I get closer to the end puzzle. Closer to the end puzzle. Closer to the end puzzle. But every time I solve a piece, I realize I gotta solve 2 more Rubik's Cubes behind me. Solve those 2 Rubik's Cubes, then there's more Rubik's Cubes. That's how I visualize this. And I don't know how far the ending's gonna be, but every 6 months, every year, every semester, I feel myself getting closer. A year ago, I was making the amount of money I was making here, but not the same way I'm doing it now. Because now when I trade the right quality stocks that I'm looking for, I already know how to execute them, how to get in, how to get out. But before, I knew that before, but now it's different because now I'm waiting patiently for the stocks of right quality. And what I'm noticing is that they come to me, like, at least some weeks they don't, but when they come around two times a week. So what I have to do is I have to wait for the stocks like this to show up. The reason I made good money on this stock was because I traded a 5-minute pullback. 5 minutes, as we see here. Oh, we're gonna increase this right here so we can see. It's quite simple. I'll show it to you guys right now. Stock shoots up on volume. Stock shoots up on volume. We have some selling behavior that is instantly pushed back up. This was a quick 5-minute pullback. Of course, this is, I would consider this an ABCD pattern, or maybe even no, I wouldn't consider it both. I'd consider it ABCD pattern. Basically, we have a strong move upwards. People start taking some profit, but since the price never crashes, the buyers, in fact, take advantage of the lower prices because a very demanded product is more in demand at a lower price, giving us macroeconomics principles. They start buying this dip and they shoot it up. And this is the ABCD pattern, or the 5-minute pullback. It pulls back on the 5-minute chart. And then it came up. But here's the interesting part. Came all the way here. We had another pullback of 5 minutes. This one, of course, took more time since there's more sellers, since there was much more volume. However, boom, same thing. The 5-minute pullback, the break through that high as we had right here. Wait, and we had a short 5-minute pullback here. I believe it was on the 1-minute chart. That 1 minute, that was at what, $6? So at $6, oh, major pullback, whatever. So we get the idea here. So this is what I'm trading. This 5-minute pullback is the one strategy that consistently gives me upwards of 10% return on the money that I trade. But it 100% depends on the quality of the stock. That's what it depends on, the quality of the stock. The stock was an exceptional quality. It didn't have the catalyst nor the news, financial news. However, it had. Look at the volume. It had shares of 13 million, and it was at, I believe the volume was at 14 million. It means the float had been rotated over 3 times. Meaning the amount of supply had been used up 3 times or 4 times. And this may be a short video, but these simple tactics have taken me this entire semester to understand. And we're 3 months into this semester. And this is great for me because I'm finally finding it. I feel a joy because I'm finally understanding what I'm looking for. And I could see the numbers actually working this time. Nobody told me how hard this would be. That is true. But I'd rather it be this way because I've been doing this since I was 17 years old, maybe 16. I forgot. And it was just after every failure I'd be back. Everybody would tell me, "Hey, this is gambling. Hey, this is not gonna work." And for some reason, I just never gave up on myself. And I still haven't made it. I still haven't made it to the heights that I want to. I still haven't reached the level of success where I can retire my parents or be able to travel wherever I want, whenever I want, as long as I want. But there's something about this skill that I'm learning that I could just tell is different. I could just tell that my life is going to be different. All I have to do is just keep going and stay focused. And keep giving it 100% of my energy every day. Every day, until I can until I can solve all the Rubik's Cubes. Everything. This is going to be my key out of the matrix, per se. In order to create a form of income that doesn't depend on anybody. But if I can become a master of this market, then I become a master of everything. Of course, if there's a bear market or whatever, the stock starts crashing, I gotta adapt it. I gotta adopt the strategy. I gotta adapt, of course. However, that's not what I'm focused on right now. Right now, I was focusing this 5-minute pullback, which has been the most profitable strategy that I have. But yeah, it's a very hard thing, and a lot of my friends and family, I think it's a little side project, but it's gonna be something big. I could tell a lot of people around me don't believe in me. And that doesn't upset me as it used to. Because why would it? I mean, little by little, I think this might drive me a little insane. Just a little bit. A little bit every day. I don't know where I might go, but if I end up a little schizophrenic, as my friend says, it'll all be worth it if I made it. I have my entire wall diagnosed with graphs and charts and scales and numbers and charts. The level of success that anybody has in their field, the 1%, they always obsess over it. They obsess over their goal. They obsess over their mission. And that's what I gotta do. I gotta become more hungry than everybody else. I have never been this close to success, and to let anybody convince me that I'm not worth it, to let anybody tell me that I can't make it, only makes me want to make it even more. And I'm gonna change the life of me, myself, and those around me. This is gonna get done. I don't know when it's gonna get done, but I just gotta put the pedal onto the metal. I've been doing this at around 50 miles per hour, per se. I have to go 90. I have to go 100, 110, 120. I have to really obsess myself this to the fucking core. Because I have a vision that nobody else has, and my time's running out. This is the hardest thing I've ever done mentally, emotionally, or physiologically, anything, psychologically, anything. But when I get to create the life and the reality that I want, losing my mind is going to be a good price that I pay. That's for sure. When I have the life I want, then I can relax. So right now I have to get to work and solve these fucking Rubik's Cubes. Because if I want to live a life that's different, then I have to start living a different life now. To figure out